Hello, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Good. I wasn't sure if anybody was even coming. I kept watching my email and I'm like, no one's logged in.
I'm the early bird, I guess.
Are you in a gym?
Yeah. Oh, I'm using my work account, so I have this background on. Let me turn it off.
Like, I'm gonna watch you do lifts in the mountains.
It's my dream vacation location of Banff.
Oh, dude. So we're in my friend group, we're big backpackers. And that also is one of the places I want to go. And my best friend, Ashley, we're doing a trip. Have you ever heard of the Ray Lakes Loop?
No.
So are you familiar with like the Sequoia Kings Canyon or like the Sierra Mountains?
Mm-mm.
Oh, dude. Okay. So the Sierra Mountains in Sierra Nevada, the Sierra or the Sierra Nevada? No, Sierra Nevadas, I think, is the beer. The Sierra Range in California, it's Yosemite.
Okay.
Yeah. It's fucking incredible. The Ray Lakes Loop, I've done it once and it was so amazing that I'm like, I will totally do it again. It's like
awesome.
literally like the entire time you're there, your just mouth is open in awe. It's fucking incredible. Yeah, that's so awesome. We're doing that again, but then she just sent me a thing and she's like, we're going to Banff next year. And I don't even know, do you know how hard it is to get backpack? Do you want to visit or do you want to backpack?
I mean, I definitely want to do Lake Louise, and I tend to like go hiking when I go on vacations. So probably not anything like crazy, like an overnighter or anything, but definitely some like day hikes or something.
Are you interested in eventually backpacking?
I've never really tried to do like long haul, but maybe.
It's just extraordinary because you literally like you put your life on your back and then you walk out into the wild. There are very few other people because there has to be like a level of self-sufficiency, a level of fitness involved, right? So yeah. Like humanity disappears and there's no pollution, there's no noise. It's just like, yeah, you don't want to come back. You're there and you're like, fuck, I'm not going to come back.
I love that.
I'm going to put my computer down for a sec. And if it's just you and I, we'll kind of personalize this to you. Let me put my computer in a box. Hold on.
I'm going to try to figure out how to turn this speaker off. That's right next to me.
All right. So, do you want to work on, at 7:06, if anybody pops in, we'll be like, hey, this is what we're doing because it was just her and I. So how warmed up are you?
I am not warmed up at all. I literally just got here.
Okay. So what do you have? Well, first, so today's programming is the every 90 seconds clean and jerk, and then the clean pulls. So do you want to take into account what I had given you yesterday as some tips and work on that?
Yeah, that sounds great.
Okay. We'll warm you up in front of the camera. Go ahead. You're like, are you 26, 27? How old are you?
32.
32. Okay.
Yeah. I'll be 33 in like a month.
So warm up is something you're starting to value.
Definitely. I've had my fair share of like knee injuries also. So.
Oh, very good to know. Okay. So when you're doing warm ups, what are the things that are usually like tight or sore for you?
Usually my hips are super tight.
Okay.
And honestly, my wrists just hurt all the time.
Okay.
Like anytime we go overhead with lifts or snatch or overhead squat, like my wrists feel like they're going to explode. More my right wrist than anything, but.
Then we'll warm up. So go ahead and let's see. Are you on your phone right now?
I have my laptop.
Perfect. All right. So take your laptop down to the ground.
Cool.
And I'm going to go down to the ground with you.
Oh, we got another taker.
Who do we have popping in?
Yeah.
Hi, Katie.
Hi.
How are you?
I had to download my app. I forgot.
Well, we're gonna, since Emily was I thought maybe she was gonna be the only one here. We're gonna stretch out some of the things that are bothering her, but that's good because she also wants to stretch out her hips. So we're gonna stretch out our wrists and do some hip stretches and some hip activation. And then, are you at the gym as well, or are you home?
I'm at home.
Okay.
I have almost everything that I need, but everything hurts today, so this is fabulous.
Well, I asked Emily first how old she was. I thought she was in her 20s still. And she's like, I'm 32. And I'm like, all right, cool. You'll appreciate a nice warm up. So I put my clock on. So Emily and Katie, the first thing that we're going to do is stretch out our wrists. We'll get those loose first. So you're going to take your forearms and face them away from you. And your fingers will go towards your knees. And from here, you're gonna make the stretch as easy or as challenging as you can. The further you lean towards your toes, the more of a stretch. And then you're gonna move around with it. We'll stay here for a minute, getting this position stretched out, and then we'll flip over. Are these tight doing this? Is this uncomfortable?
Yeah. It's like my right forearm is super tight.
Yeah. Well, how often do you smash your forearms?
Never.
All right. We'll stretch them out and then we'll smash them and then we'll do, when you say your hips are tight, where do you feel it?
Like in my hip flexors.
Okay. How often do you get a lacrosse ball in there?
I used to be pretty diligent about it. Lately, I have not been as good with it.
Okay.
I used to go to physical therapy like once a week for it, and he would treat me, and then I haven't been in like maybe a month.
Okay. How's your hip feeling, Katie?
It's okay. Good. I'm working on trying to even squat. I did some of my physical therapy stuff today, and I still come down. My right hip doesn't want to come down as evenly as my left, so it's still hiked a little bit when I come down.
Yeah, those back muscles. Go ahead and flip your guys' hands over, and now you're going to be on the back of your hands. Your fingers still pointed towards your knees. Do you see what I'm doing?
Yeah. I don't like that.
This, if you want to get false grip, this is one of the best stretches to help with false grip, because you see how my position is, right? The majority of people have a hard time keeping their arms straight while they get in that false grip position. But if you can get a really deep stretch here, you'll be able to get a better false grip. It's just painful.
It is super painful. I don't like it.
How often do you do it?
This is my first time ever.
So one of the things I like about GoWOD is they add in stretches like this, which is like a really good reminder. I try to do the 22-minute one every day, and it's a really good reminder of like what I forget is tight or sore. All right. And the last one is now fingers away and leaning over your toes. Over your fingers.
I can't get very far. I'm not going over my fingers at all.
Let me see. Turn so you're diagonal or like away from the. I can tell.
I probably should have cleaned my workout room before I just decided to join in on this.
Yeah, no, that's good. Yeah, okay. You're not like you're limited to a certain extent. This is also when we do this movement, like if you want to be able to eventually do a press to handstand or something like that, or even kicking up, the more flexibility you have in that wrist space, the better.
Want your elbows facing, like, how do you want your elbows facing?
So what you're doing, you want to do exactly what you're doing. When you go down onto your hands, your arms should automatically lock into external rotation, exactly like when we get the barbell up overhead. So you don't have to be like super intentional with screwing them in, but let it happen naturally, because it helps you lock your triceps. Does that make sense?
Yes.
All right, and then come on up. And then have you guys heard of CARS before? It's controlled articular rotation. So it's really being intentional with a slow rotation of your joint. So what I want you to do is, first I want you to notice, go ahead and reach your hand out like this. And notice if I were to tell you to rotate your fingers around, that your forearm naturally rotates with your wrist, right? Yeah. So what we want to do is we want to be able to create the rotation without the forearm moving, which is extremely challenging because we never practice it. So I want you to hold on to your forearm, reach your arm out straight. And now I want you to draw a circle with your fingers going exceptionally slow, not letting your forearm rotate at all. So if you have this tiny ass little circle because the forearm wants to go with your fingers, that's okay, but go really slow. Try to get that joint, pull the fingers all the way towards your face, rotate through, down, around. My forearm twisted. Very, very challenging. It requires a fuck ton of coordination or concentration. And then you go through and pull up, and then you go in the opposite direction. So the control part of it, and what we're trying to do is get full range of motion of that joint. And the more you do it, the more rotation you'll get with control. That feel good? Yeah, it's one of my favorites. I do these like first things because I'm like, it's enjoyable. There's no pain. It's just a pleasant feeling. And then we'll switch and do the other arm. Really slow, big circle, as big as you can without letting that forearm rotate. Big. Good. All right. Feel good? And I would just do this too. Like give your forearms a good little smash. When we get the barbell out, we can smash them in a bit. But since we're on the ground already, I want you guys to drop into an active frog position. Katie, can you do this with your hip? So you're gonna spread your knees out wide. Your feet will be in line with your knees. You're gonna go on your elbows. And then, so an active frog is different from a passive frog. What we're doing is we're pulsing back. You send those hips back and you should feel a stretch in the groin muscles. And then you hold it for a second and then come up, relax. Does that feel okay on your hip, Katie?
Yeah.
How's that feel?
Right hip needs it.
Emily, does it feel okay?
Yeah, it's not bad. It's like a little pressure on my knees.
Yeah. So if you feel it on your knees, see if you can roll your. So right now you have it right on your knee. The goal is to like roll your leg in so it's on the fat pad on the inside of your knee. Okay. So maybe you can go a little wider and bring those feet out so they're in line. Yeah. Does that feel a little bit better?
Yeah.
Yeah. Fat pads, man. They're very, very beneficial. All right, we'll go a few more. Send those hips back, Emily, and then release the stretch. So we're doing active stretching instead of passive stretching because we don't want to elongate the muscle and kind of turn it off. We want to warm it up to be able to get into, we're going to front squat, right, with our clean. So we want to get into a nice position, but we don't want to like hold it. So a few more stretches here. I just got up a little bit ago and my body's like, hey, it's not even 7:30 yet. There's no stretching.
It's 10 for me over here.
I know when I think I even put PST on the form, but people filled out 6 to 8. And I'm like, it's all the East Coasters. They're like, 6 a.m. would be perfect. And I'm like, not getting up at 3, guys. I love it. All right, now let's come up into, we're going to do downward dog and cobra. And again, it's going to be, so we're stretching out our thoracic and the back of our legs again, because we're cleaning and we're front squatting. Cobra is great for your thoracic. So go up into downward dog and we're trying to drive those heels down and back. And we're driving that head through. So we're intentional with stretching the back of our legs so that we can have a strong drive for our cleans and head through because we want to open up that thoracic for our jerk and for the front rack. And then we're going to come down into cobra and you're dropping the pelvis to the floor as much as you can from here, shoulders open. Right? And this is where we receive the barbell for a nice clean position. And then back into downward dog. See if you can get those heels a little bit closer to the ground. And then one more time to cobra. Emily, bring your hands in. See how, yeah, there you go. And now drive those shoulders down and back. Good, there you go. Can you lock your elbows out? Good. Katie, can you get your pelvis a little bit closer to the ground? Where's that tight on
you? My stomach, mostly like right here.
Yeah, okay. All right, so come around. We'll open that up a little bit more and this will be really great for your wrists too. You ever done reverse table?
No.
So take your fingers away and now you're gonna see my old ass that it's really 7:30 in the morning for me. You're gonna bring your hips up and you're gonna open your chest up and lean back to the ground. And again, we wanna make this an active position. So you stretch for a second and then come down to the ground, come up. And you should find that since we already opened up a lot of the other stuff, that this position isn't torturous. Does that feel okay?
My shoulders are really tight.
Your shoulders are?
Yeah.
Yeah, I call this stretch reversing being an adult because we're always in this position. So doing this is like literally the antithesis, which is phenomenal, especially if you spend a lot of time here at your desk. Yeah, squeeze those glutes, Katie, and drop that head. There you go. Drive that pelvis up to the sky. Good.
Oh,
down.
Done.
All right, and now we're done. You're stretched, you're good. All right, so do both of you have a booty band?
Sorry, what?
A booty band, like the band
like
that
a slingshot?
Yep.
Yeah.
Can you go ahead and grab that? Katie, do you have one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't worry. I think it's in the other room. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Okay, I'm back.
All right, so you're gonna actually be on standing, Katie. We'll open up, so you'll be standing. I just automatically called you M, I'm sorry.
No, I like that better, so that's good.
People, I'm like, I just make up my own nicknames. I never check if that's okay. I'm just like, this guy would call you. So you're gonna put the band on the top of your knees, and we're going to do 3 rounds. So have you guys ever done a standing fire hydrant before?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're gonna do that to start. You're gonna put your hands on your hips, and the goal is to bring your leg out and up. And I want you to balance if you can. And we're waking up the glute med. And try not to take your hip and open. We're trying to use this just to move the one leg while this hip stays facing forward. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah, even if you can get a little bit, yep. Good, so you'll stop when that other hip starts
to go with it.
Yep, I just want a little bit of, good.
That's just too much.
Okay, try it without. And Katie, for you, I want the rotation to happen at the hip. So right now you're leading with the leg. Try, yes, much better.
Okay.
It's not a big movement. Good. And try to lift it a little bit up and higher. I know it's a big band. Good. You're doing 10 on each side. The glute med is it's a butt muscle on the outside of our legs that are used for everything and very, very much ignored. If you have hip pain, it tends to come from weak glute meds. Good. Okay, you're much stronger on that side. Are you left-handed?
Sorry?
Are you left-handed?
I'm not, but I split jerk with my left leg forward, like my left leg, my power leg.
You're a goofy foot.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Katie, what we're doing is we're not doing a hip opener. We're coming at it from an angle so that we can just activate the glute med.
I like those.
Yeah. All right. So now you're going to keep the band on. Actually, that's a pretty big band. So set that band off, Emily. And then you're going to do 5 single leg RDL on each side. Good. And the goal is to keep that hip square to the ground. Nice and slow. Very good. And then you're gonna slip the band to your feet. You're gonna step on the band. We do a psoas march. So hands will be on the hips and we're drawing the knees up to the chest. You're doing 20 steps. You're gonna wake up the front of your hip. Good, try to get that knee as high as you can to the ceiling. Is it your right hip, Katie?
Yeah. You can tell I can't get as high on that side.
Yeah. So even when you get, so stop there. So bring that right knee back up. Now try to bring it a little bit higher, even if you can't. Try. Good, and then come back down. And then do your left easy. Good. And then your right, when you think you've stopped with that, Try lifting it. Yeah. A lot of it is just waking those muscles up, right? You have the strength, but we got to get them turned back on. Yeah, there you go. Good, 20 steps. When you're done with those 20 steps, you are gonna draw that band up over your knees and you're gonna do 10 banded squats, making sure that you can feel all of your toes on the ground. It's very important. I think, yeah, Katie, you're in bare feet, which is.
I have the worst squat in the whole world, let me tell you.
Dude, it's totally fine. You can squat, man. Good, drive. So Emily, I want to see you drive, pushing those knees out hard against that band.
Okay.
Yes, very good. Keeping that chest up. So when you watch, so put your arms in front and our arms shouldn't drop at all. They should stay up and forward.
Yeah, I have a really immature squat.
Let me see. Okay, so one of the things that we can easily fix with that is, will you turn so that you're perpendicular to me? So I want you to do the same thing, keep your hands in front, and then I want you to send your butt back first. Engage the, yes, there you go, good. And come back up. So I think a lot of this is just, we need to strengthen the core, getting you to do like, you know, those tempo front squats that he's been putting in that are disgusting. Yeah. Doing more of those is gonna help. So let me see 4 or 5 more of those, Katie. Good, be super mindful. So come back up, Katie, come back up. And I want you to send the butt back first in a dramatic fashion. Yeah, there you go. Good. Do you feel a difference in your squat when you do that?
I feel a little bit more stable, but my PT has been having me do, it's hard to describe, but like, because I get so excessive this way when I shoot my butt back like that he's trying to get me to do this. So it's really hard for me then to shoot my butt back because my glutes, once I get to the bottom, they let loose. Like I can't keep the tension. So we're working on me keeping tension all the way up and down.
So 2 things that you can do for that. One of the girls that comes here is a pelvic floor physical therapist, and this will work for you as well. When you're going to squat, suck, I like this cue she gives, suck the air up, thinking about like if you're picking up a kid. So that's gonna help you brace upwards. And then take a second at the bottom of your squat and do a Kegel. Do you guys both know what the feeling of doing a Kegel is like? So yes. If you do a Kegel at the bottom, that's going to activate your pelvic floor, which will help you engage your glutes better. And it's just, yeah, I mean, we don't fucking know this stuff. Like, right? Like we've been squatting for our entire lives every time we sit on a toilet, but no one tells you to freaking tuck your pelvis and you know, move. And we're women, like we have loose pelvic floors because we're designed to make babies.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, go ahead and take your band off if you're done with it. And then we have one last banded movement. You guys both have like a thin band you can use, a long one?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll be right back.
All right. So you're gonna take that band and you're gonna step into it. This is my favorite way to fast activate all the clean and jerk muscles. So Katie, are you doing, will you be doing like power cleans and just catching and going down as low as you can?
Probably, yes.
Okay, all right. So you guys are gonna take your band and step in it, and your hands are gonna be in the width of a barbell, like you're gonna clean. You're gonna pull up and through and press. And you're gonna do 20 of those. And I want it to be emulating the pull and elbows through of your clean. through, press. Very good. Get that head through at the top. Perfect. 20 of them. Yeah. Get all of those fucking stabilizer muscles nice and active. Feel okay, Katie?
Yeah. Right, shoulders tight.
Well, that's why I like this little band.
Yeah.
Like, it's not enough to hurt things, but it's enough to get things nice and loose.
Also, I make faces when I'm pulling. Like, I have a shrug face, and there's lots of them.
Same. When you get to the top, I want to see you press. You know how you were asking about the locking the elbows out? I want you to be intentional with that. When you get to the top, drive up and drive those elbows. Yeah, there you go. And we'll try to keep our arms over our shoulders, so not wide. Bring them in as close. Yeah. Fuck yes. Very good. And Emily, mindful of it's not a reverse curl. We're shrugging, elbows through, pressing. You're cleaning just with a band. Yes, good. You should be a little bit uncomfortable after 20 of these and like, holy fuck, this is a lot. Yeah, the shoulders are endurance muscles. Good, there you go. There's that position, Katie. That was great. All right. You guys should be a little bit warm. So we're going to warm up your feet and your jump a little bit real fast to get you ready to clean. And then we'll start warming up your clean to 90 to 87 to 90%. What weight, Emily, are you hitting today?
80% of 135, I guess.
80%
on that.
of 135. Okay. And Katie, are we working on positions and just continuing to rehab, or do you have a number?
I'll probably do like 65.
Okay. Awesome. All right. So you both can perform a jump squat, right?
Oh, what?
A jump squat?
Yeah.
Okay. So I want you to go through 3 rounds of 10 jump squats, 10 jumping lunges, and 5 sprawls quickly. We'll go through it quickly. So we're warming up our explosive, we're warming up our core, and we're getting ready to be powerful with our clean and jerk. So 10 jump squats, dropping as low into that squat as you possibly can, driving off those toes. Good.
You said jump lunges?
Yep, as much as you can. And you don't have to go down super low if it hurts or if you just want to get that split. We're working the single leg for your split jerk.
I actually like lunges way better than squats.
Wow. Just sprawl.
No, I'm weird.
Just sprawls, Emily. You don't have to go all the way down to the ground. Just jump out.
And up, down?
Yeah, and up, down. So Katie, drop those hips to the ground. See if you can get almost kind of sag your pelvis at the bottom. Open your hips all the way up. Does that make sense? Jump down. Yes.
Like that?
Yep. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, I'm tired. Wow, how many rounds do we have to do that?
3. And Emily, for you, for your jump squats, I don't want you to go so deep in there. I want you to stay engaged. You collapse a little bit at the bottom of your squat. So
Okay.
I want your butt to go below your knees, but not so far that you're losing your pelvis. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
You feel tension. All right, give me a couple more of nice tight jump squats. Yes, there you go. That will help with your wall balls as well.
Okay.
Up and lunges.
Oh my goodness.
I know, we're almost done. But you're gonna feel amazing for your cleans, and you're gonna crush them.
I discovered, I worked on snatches this morning, and I discovered that I'm not as explosive on my right. Makes sense. But literally one foot, my left foot is off the ground. My right foot is still like at full extension. I'm like this when I'm about to get underneath the bar.
So doing right now with these jump squats, be exceptionally mindful of when you're jump launching. I love these for warm up because it allows you to practice that stuff. Really think about driving hard off your right toes. Yes, good. Almost done. If the warm up sucks, you're doing it right.
This is really hard.
All right.
I haven't done plyometrics in like 3 months. What is this?
Well, you know, so the level M, I've been adding it in the warm-ups on Tuesdays and Fridays, and I've been doing it. And I'm like, I fucking hate it. But my body's like, look at how powerful I am. So it has a payoff. It just sucks. All right. So so Emily, you're doing, we're doing 87 to 90% of your clean and jerk.
Oh, shoot. Okay.
Does it say 80? I think it's 87.
I don't know. Honestly, don't remember.
I think it's 87 to 90.
Sugar one.
Should be
CFT. Oh yeah, that's
okay.
A little heavier.
Well, it's okay. So you're nice and warm. So 135, 90% of that 13.5 times 9 is like what? 120, I think.
Yeah, 120.
Okay. All right. So we're gonna. Is that intimidating?
A little bit.
Okay. So we'll work up to it. And then Katie, for you, can we catch it in a power clean and then ride it down into a front squat?
Yeah, I've been doing that for physical therapy. I did that this morning. I forgot about this and I was like, oh yeah, I was supposed to do this thing. And so here I am.
Well, we'll work on it and we'll go up to how your body feels. Like we won't commit to any number since you're rehabbing. Yeah. And then Emily will, so we're gonna, right now, we're gonna warm you up for your clean. So both of you go ahead and grab your barbell.
Cool.
And make sure that you have it in your hook grip. And it'll be easier for me if you guys position yourself in like a 45-degree angle so that I can see what your hips are doing. I know, Katie,
I have a really small room. I'm gonna go get my tripod thing. I'll be right back.
Okay. That'll be perfect, Emily, because it'll take us a little bit longer. So cool. What do you usually do for your jumps for when you're warming up your cleans?
Like 20-pound jumps, I guess.
Okay.
And then as it gets towards the uppers, like 5 to 10-pound jumps.
Okay. So you do, do 65, 85, 105?
Yeah.
Okay. Perfect.
And then from 105 on, it's like way smaller jumps.
Okay. So what we'll do is we'll do the clean warm up together. And then once you'll put 65 on the bar, you'll see how that feels. We'll do a few at 65, a few at 85. We'll move relatively quickly. And then once we get up to like 105, 115, we'll see how you feel with it. And then you can always, so it's 87 to 90% is your percentages. So you can start your first one with 115 and see how it feels. Cool. Yeah, I feel like the tweaks that I talked about, if we make those, you're going to be really surprised at how good they feel.
Cool.
All right, go ahead and grab your barbells. I want to make sure that we're hook gripping, and we're going to do the clean warm up together.
Cool. Full disclosure, I never hook grip.
Oh, fuck. Well, we're fixing that today. You're going to move 120 easily, and you're going to hook grip.
Cool.
All right, so the barbell starts at the hip. From here, we're doing 3 clean RDLs. So we're going to be looking straight ahead. We're bending over. The barbell's going down below our knees, keeping it close, standing back up, squeezing that butt. We're doing 3 of those. Good, only below the knee. It doesn't have to go super low. Good, and then on our next bend over to below our knees, we're gonna come up into a high pose. So we're driving off of those toes, elbows high.
Okay.
Good, in one smooth motion, Katie. Bending over, low, and coming up. Good, very good. And then we're gonna do 3 muscle cleans. So we're going down below the knee, coming through. 3 muscle cleans. Nice fast elbows, Katie, very good. Both of you, very good. Good, and then we're gonna do 3 front squats. So bring the barbell back up, laying out with 3 front squats.
Hold on. I didn't hear that last one.
3 front squats.
Front squats, got it.
My dog has to go outside. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Oh, just kidding. My husband got on it. Just kidding.
Good. And then, so Katie, you can actually do, you can do, I'll have you do a hang power clean into a squat. So Emily, go ahead and put the barbell back up. You guys should still be in the hook grip if you can. And you're gonna do 3 hang power cleans. And you'll do Emily, you'll do a hang power clean. Good. So make sure, Emily, that we're not, 2 things, we're not bouncing it, right? We're pulling and we're patient with our pull. So your weight should be in your heels until the barbell gets to here. And then I transfer weight onto my toes and I pull. Yes, much better. Yes, fuck yes. Good, dude, that was beautiful. Good job. All right,
Thank you.
then go ahead. No, you don't get to put it down yet. Go ahead and pick it back up. And you're gonna do 3 split jerks. So I want you guys to be mindful of elbows up. When you dip, elbows go up to the sky, right? We don't drop forward. We dip down, knees out, elbows up, and then we jerk. Sending that front leg nice and far, getting a good stretch. Our hips, very good jerk. Nice, Katie. Good job. Okay. All right. Go ahead and put the barbells down now. You can shake it out. So, Emily, I want you to go ahead and put 65 pounds on the bar. Okay. Cool. And we're going to start warming up for your percentages. And then Katie, while she's warming up, let me see a full clean and jerk or what we're working with.
So for the jerk for this, are we specifically only doing split jerks? Because then my number is gonna be a little bit lower. Because my push jerk is stronger than my split jerk.
Do you want to work on your split jerk?
We could.
Yeah, then let's do it.
Okay, cool. So then if we're working off of my max split, it's a very ugly 120. So that would be.
Sorry, Katie, hold on 1 second.
That would be 108.
Is your 1 rep max squat clean
and split jerk?
We talked about you getting stronger. Now I'm conflicted because if we go lighter, well, let's see what we got. We'll warm up with split jerk, and then you can play around with, we'll warm up with split jerk. We'll play around with it. And then if we get heavier with your cleans, we can always go to push jerk.
Cool. Sounds good.
Okay. All right. Sorry, Katie. With your foot, Katie, I noticed that you're on your right side. I just saw your foot kind of curling in a little bit. Do you have a hard time keeping it all your foot on the ground? I'm so glad you're doing this barefoot.
I never do it barefoot. I don't know. I guess I didn't notice whatever you were noticing. So
only because like your ankle and your foot can be impacted because of the hip, which then the kinetic chain can affect your hip health if the foot and ankle are tight. So just kind of check in with that foot and see what it's doing as you're moving. Because you said too, right, that you feel like there's a delay in the drive. So we want to make sure that that foot is doing what it's supposed to. So sorry, go ahead and pick the barbell up and get it to mid shin. And let me see a clean and jerk. Oh yeah, see your toes, stop real quick. Yeah, so flatten your toes out. There you go. So you don't want your foot gripping the ground. Does that make sense?
I don't.
You don't.
Okay.
Yeah. There you go. Good. All right. Good. And make sure those eyes, that was beautiful, dude. When your starting position for your clean, make sure that your eyes are forward.
Okay.
Okay. And then jerk. Good. Okay. With that, leading with the left foot, make sure that you're, did you ever do the jerk drill where you have the lines for your jerks? So I want you to envision that your heel, when you go forward, should be about 6 inches in front of where your toes are now. So like that sun line that you have right there. I want to see if, can you go ahead and put the barbell up to the front rack? And let me see a jerk with you getting your heel out to that sun line.
Like here?
Yep.
Okay.
All right, Em, go for it. Good, Katie. All right. Go ahead and put a little bit of weight on the bar. Nice, Emily. All right. So go ahead and reset for a second. Remember what I said, that I want you to be keeping your weight on your heels and not bouncing. So let me see just the clean again, but being mindful of being patient, and I don't pull until I transfer all of my weight to my toes.
Okay.
No bouncing. Weight on your heels. Little better. Do you, now that I'm commenting on the bounce, do you feel it?
It's like I'm hitting here and then I'm already pulling instead of.
And what that, we do that because it's a tactile cue to tell us when to pull, right? But we want to build in different feedback, because what's going to happen is if I bounce it, I'm bouncing it away, and now I have to counteract that bounce. Okay, so I want you to be patient with weight on your heels until you're in the power. So weight on the heels till I'm in the power position. And then as I drive up to my toes, I'm using the momentum. The bar is weightless. I'm pulling it up.
Okay.
All right, Katie. Good. That was much better, Emily. Good. So use that sun. Go ahead, Emily. Very good. Good. Go ahead and put a little bit more weight on the bar. Emily or Katie, use that sun position as your line. Does it feel uncomfortable to do that?
Yeah.
Okay. Why we do that is because we're trying to train ourselves to drop low in the jerk, right? And the shorter my distance for my front foot, the higher I catch the barbell. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So I'm trying to create a deep, like you'll see the guys, the Korean weightlifters, and they get their back knee almost to the ground. We'll work on that too, but that reach is going to help you get a nice deep lunge essentially. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Good. Yes. Fuck yes. Very nice. So you can also be your transition, your first pull is great, but you can be a little bit faster. It's an acceleration movement, right? Like we don't want to be jerky and rough from the start where we're putting pressure on the gas pedal, but we're not going super, super slow. We're just accelerating overall. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So you can be a little bit faster to the knee, just don't be jerky with it. Let's see, okay. Emily. Okay. Good. Very good. Dude, your jerks look great. What is this, 85?
Yeah.
All right, do one more at 85 and then add another 10 pounds in each set.
Cool.
All right, Katie, go for it. Good, dude. Nice fucking fast elbows. Good. So a little short on that reach, but man, you got a solid fucking front rack. There you go. I like you didn't bounce. Good. Nice, Emily. Oh, we just need confidence in that split jerk, girl. You've got a solid freaking split jerk.
Oh, right, thank you.
Yeah, put 10s on. Katie, you want to go up in weight?
Yeah, I'll put on 5s.
Yeah. Are you limited right now in what you're allowed to lift?
Not really. Well, I am, but I'm not. I don't know. I worked up to 135 power clean yesterday, but I haven't been squatting anything.
Okay. Do you want to try on this next one? Do you want to try catching it and going into a little bit of a squat?
Yeah, I can try.
Okay.
I wish.
Hold on. We get this lifted real quick.
Very nice, dude. Good. How'd that feel?
Good. You can't see it from that angle, but it's still hiked just a little bit, but I have a mirror. Listen, I have a vanity mirror. That's what I call it. See, this is what I watch myself in.
Oh, yeah.
Trying to make sure that I come down as even as possible.
Yeah, watch that foot. That foot is, I think, foot and the ankle are playing a role in it. And they probably, like, you know, you've created movement patterns because you were limping or protecting that hip or like adjusting for it. So, yeah. So pay attention to where the knee tracks relative to the ankle and the foot. Make sure the foot is flat and active. I think, yeah, like, and plus loosening up those back muscles. But fuck, man, you got a new hip.
I know, but well, and I've always had issues. I've been working on like my ankle mobility because I've always had issues, and because my left side has worked so much harder over the last year to like, so like I usually get like Achilles like pain, like especially after doing a bunch of double unders or box jumps or anything like that, because I feel like I'm pushing so hard on the left side and I'm not, you know what I mean? Like it's just, Absolutely. It's a lot.
Yeah.
So
it's all fucking, yeah. Well, we'll get you squared away. All right, let's see what you got. 105. Easy day, girl. Chest up, tight back. Oh, dude. Come on, that was easy. Good. So again,
it's when I get sketched out and my split gets like shorter and shorter.
It's a confidence thing, dude. And especially because you've trained yourself to, with your push jerk, right? You figured out where the stability is. And the push jerk it's very easy as a novice athlete or like an intermediate athlete to make it a little bit of a push press, right? Like we focus on getting the barbell up. With the split jerk, the beautiful thing about it is why we get to use it for heavy weight is because we get to get deep into the hole, right? Like a split jerk, like aside from CJ Cummings or the people who split squat, you can only go so deep in it, right? Yeah. So a split jerk allows you to get that back knee almost to the ground. So I want you to do that again. And I want you to have the exact same lunge position that you did for 85. And you got it, dude. You're fucking capable of this. Think about not the barbell going up, but you going down.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, what are we looking at right now?
I'm sorry. I probably look terrible. I'm sorry. I have.
Are you responding to a text or something?
I was.
That's funny. All right, let's see. I want you to put a little bit more weight on the bar if you're comfortable. Go for it, Emily.
Like me physically on camera, right?
Yep.
Okay. Good here?
Yep.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, much better. Good. We just have to build that confidence up.
Yeah.
And once we build that confidence up, you'll be able to do it. You just have to practice not doubting yourself, right? And approaching it just like, I mean, it's a heavier barbell, yeah. But if you trust the mechanics that you built up with the lighter weight, you're going to be more successful. Cool. What's the worst that happens? You fucking
I drop it on my brain.
Right. Which is like, we all see the fails, but most of the time that isn't a thing that's going to happen. All right, Katie, let's see.
You want me to go down into a squat?
Yeah, if you're comfortable, if it feels okay. Good.
My son moved, just FYI.
I saw that. Don't try to reach that. So one of the things, so we're gonna in true me fashion, we're way over. It's already 8 o'clock. You guys have to go. I understand. Otherwise, we will start the clock for it to be every 90 seconds. And what I want to do, Katie, I want you to add a little bit more weight to that. And when I want you to be focusing on, notice how when you catch the bar for your power clean, and then you move your feet to go into the front squat, I want you to be catching the power clean with your feet in your front squat position. Does that make sense?
Yeah, well, I moved my feet last time and then I realized I forgot that I was going into a squat, so I tried to move them back.
Okay.
I didn't mean to do that. But normally they come out wide enough so I can squat.
Okay.
But, okay.
And then Emily, are you eating a fruit treat or a jerky?
I am. It's one of these like one whole things. I found them in the store the other day. They're like great intra carbs.
So, and they're just like, I'm a little kid right now. I get to eat fruit snacks.
They're so good. The pineapple one is awesome.
Oh, noted. All right. So how do you feel about going up to 115? You think that's doable?
Yes, for the clean, but I think I'd rather push jerk if we're going to go up.
Let's try 115 with a split jerk right now and see what happens. And then if it's a shit show, you can go to push jerk. But trust yourself.
Yeah, it's like I'm getting wigged out because I'm getting dizzy at the top when I stand up from the split jerk. I'm usually like an evening lifter. So I'm getting scared already, no matter what, but we'll give it a shot, see what happens.
Don't pass out. Especially this is recording right now, dude. Don't pass out.
It's all right. We'll send it to morning chalk up or
yeah. Fuck.
Yeah,
Make
it'll
sure
be
you
fine.
breathe. It's the vagal response. It's literally being choked out.
Yeah, because my front rack is like it sits right here, but we'll see what happens. I'll go to 115.
She's warning me and I'm not listening. I'm like, yeah. Go heavier.
It'll be fine. It'll be fine. We'll get it on tape.
Ooh, all right, Katie. What do we got on there? 85?
Yes.
Fuck yes. What's the heaviest you've front squatted since your surgery?
I have to look. Hang on.
Okay.
Where do I find that? Where's my profile?
And did you say you have restriction on how much weight you can lift?
I don't. I'm kind of just going by feel. I deadlifted 205 times 10 today, but that was just deadlifting.
I'm gonna, Emily, you take a bite. True lifter. I'm gonna snack and lift at the same time. That's one of the reasons I love lifting. So Katie, you find that your
115 is my most recent.
All right. Let's see if we can work up to like 95 to 105 over the next 15 minutes.
Okay. Am I just doing one?
Yep.
Every 90?
Yep. And then Emily, let's see what 115 looks like.
Cool. I can only do like another 10 minutes and I should probably go back to work.
Okay.
This is the benefits of working from home.
100%. I just want to see what this looks like and then I'm going to set the clock for you guys.
Okay.
Good. Long lunge. Yeah! I knew that was going to look beautiful. Fuck yes. All right.
That felt good.
We're going for that weight. Is that okay? Did you feel dizzy?
Huh?
Did you feel okay?
Yeah. Worst comes to worst, I can pull the 5s if it starts looking bad, but
100%. All right. So I'm gonna start the clock. My computer was gonna die, so we're gonna be in the office, and I'm gonna just use my there we go, my phone to say every 90 minutes or every 90 minutes.
I wish it was every 90
seconds. I'll see you guys in 90 minutes. Every 130 for 10 times. All right.
Cool.
Are you ready? Okay. Ready? All right. And Katie, do you have a little bit of weight next to you in case you want to go up?
Yeah.
All right. Perfect. All right, ladies, here we go. 10 seconds. 5, 3, 2, 1, and lift. Good. All right. So Emily, for you, that was phenomenal. I want you to hold your catch on your jerk for just a second. I want you, instead of rushing to get out of the position, unless of course you do feel like you're gonna fucking fall over and get out of it. But otherwise, I want you to get stable in it so you're confident in it for like a good 1 to 2 seconds. Okay. And then Katie, do you have some chalk?
Yes.
Can you
I have some chalk? I always got chalk.
Can you draw a line that's from your setup that's about 6 inches in front of your left toe?
I don't measure distance very well. Let's see.
How about a foot? One foot in front.
1 foot?
Yeah. Good. All right. So I want your heel for your jerk to land above that line.
Okay.
Here we go. 2, 1, and lifting again. Very nice, Katie. Good. Elbows up.
That's hard.
It was better though.
It was really far. Okay.
It's just confidence, Emily. We just got to get you confident with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're throwing around that weight like it's nothing. Your lift looks really great. You're not bouncing the barbell off. When you get up there, you just have to remember that it's not about the bar going up. It's about me going down. Yeah. And when you tell yourself that, right, you won't shorten your lunge because you understand physics wise, I got to go long, so I go deep.
Cool.
Yeah. Yeah. It looks good. You're doing, and you always, could also add 5s to it, and then we could be doing 120. We'll get you there. All right, we got 15 seconds. How's the hip feeling, Katie?
It's good.
Good. All right, here we go. In 5, 3, 2, 1, and lift. Good, Katie.
That felt better than the last one.
That was a little bit better, Emily. Yeah, I mean, we're just, we're getting, like, you didn't even know that you could do this weight, right? So like, we're already having a big win. It's just getting you more comfortable with it. How often do you make yourself split jerk?
Only when we program it.
Okay. So maybe play around with it. If your default, so I'm doing the opposite. My push jerk is way weaker than my, not way weaker, but when I push jerk heavy and I go to push jerk and then one foot starts to go like this to like, and it's like, is it a push jerk or is it a really awful split jerk?
That's my split jerk when it gets heavy.
Yeah, it gets shorter and shorter. Absolutely. Yeah. So you can play around with, like, I've been doing in the lifting portions, powers and pushes instead of squats and splits, because my squat and split is a lot stronger. So you can, if it says push jerk, you can always try to do split jerk if you need to work on it. All right, here we go. Number 4. Good, Katie. That front squat looks solid.
I shortchanged my split.
That's all right.
But I went up in weight, so I'll try better next time. The next one's gonna be my last one.
Okay. I think, Katie, a lot of you is just getting warmed up. You're moving better as you get warm, and you're like able to keep the barbell up. Your front squat looks really good. So just spending more time, like if you notice that front squats are in there, what are the specific things that you need to activate before you get into your fitness so that you can hit your positions?
Yeah. I have a routine that I normally do. I didn't do that today, but I usually have to warm up for like 20 minutes before actual class.
Also same. Like, yeah, I have a pre-warm up and then a warm up, and everybody gives me shit. I'm like, you wait until you're 40 and let me know how it feels. Yeah,
be 40 with a hip replacement, then you've got to do 20 minutes extra every single time.
If I had a hip replacement, I'd probably need an hour. All right, here's number 5. Both of you go long. All right. That was pretty good. You both you're doing just what we tend to do with jerks. We shorten as it gets heavier, right? We're trying to rely on pushing it up instead of getting underneath it. But that I think will just come with time. Katie, I would definitely encourage you and you both to have the foot set up. I'll send you guys after we do this the link with how to practice jerk drills just with the feet and getting comfortable reaching along with that front foot.
Yeah, I'm still pretty tight in the hip flexor, and I think that's why I have a hard time. And I've always done left foot forward and not right. Left has always been more comfortable for me.
Yep.
So
yeah, and it will limit that. I'm the same way. My hip is tight on my left. All right, are you, Katie? You're going back to work?
Yeah, I have to go back to work. Thank you.
You're
that was
welcome.
So much fun.
Yeah, thank you for
it.
joining.
Nice listening to you.
Thank you.
All
Have
right.
a great day.
You too. Emily, this is number 6 for you. You ready?
Cool. Yep.
Drive and drop. Send that foot forward. Good. Trust yourself. There you go. That was a little better.
Still shallow, but a little better.
Yeah. Yeah. And you have, when I was watching you, your lunges look like they're stronger than your squats. Do you like lunges better?
Yes, but honestly, it's also a fear thing. Like my first couple months of CrossFit, I bailed a back squat over my head. No one taught me how to bail. So every time we squat heavy, I like relive that moment. So unless like I have spotter arms, and even then I'm like afraid to go heavy on my squat. Like I definitely can squat more than what my max is.
Noted.
I'm just afraid.
So I had the exact same experience. No one taught me how to bail. My first time I got stuck, did the exact same thing. And then forever after, when I coached fundamentals, it was one of the first things I taught my athletes. So I would, wait, I'll follow up. We're going for number 7.
Cool.
Vacuum frame.
Not quite.
What happened?
I think I was just like not aggressive enough in the pull, and then like my right elbow didn't come through. Only my left one did.
Okay, let's try it again.
Now I'm just like myself out.
Yeah, okay, so rest. You're gonna rest. And
Okay.
Yeah, that weight, you're moving that weight exceptionally well. So did you get up in your head about it?
I think so. I think I'm like telling myself I'm tired. If that makes sense.
It does. And one of the best things that Roderick yells at me about when it is approach it like you're fresh. Approach it like you're fresh, right? Like this weight isn't that heavy for you. You really are really fucking strong. Approach it like you're fresh. All right, let's go. This is number 8. Chest up, strong legs. You're fresh. Easy weight. Beautiful, dude. Good job. Trust yourself. Drop. Good. So, I mean, look at like the distance that you're giving yourself for your split jerk. The fact that you are able to still have a successful split jerk is awesome. Like when we get you confident with this, you're probably able to clean and jerk with a split 135 to 140. We just have to get you confident with it. Yeah. Like because you're getting the barbell up, right? If the distance is short, that means the bar is going much higher.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
That guy walked by on the last one, that guy walked behind you and stopped.
That's my boyfriend.
Oh, well, he stopped and watched you. Like that was the only one that you've done where you struggled. And I was like, who is this guy? All right, we're going for 9. We have 2 more, 9 and 10. Same thing. You're nice and fresh. Good job, dude. Good. So one of the things I did notice is when you're setting up for the last couple, you're not as tight, right? Like you're
that shoulder. Yeah.
And dude, it's so fucking important. I do it too. I think that the weight is light enough that I don't have to be focused on it. And then it's a shit show, but it's just like an elastic band, right?
Yeah.
A taut band is powerful. A loose band is weak. We have to be like uncomfortable. Your starting position should be so uncomfortable that you don't want to maintain it for longer than 15 to 20 seconds. Okay. If it's like you're down there and you're like, so get some crayons and talk about my day, then it's too comfortable and you're not tight and active.
Yeah.
Be a really tight elastic band, like the bottom of a squat. Like imagine what the tension that's created in the bottom of a back squat. That's the amount of tension you need for the setup. Does that make sense?
Yeah. For sure.
Okay. All right, dude. This is your last one.
Last one.
Yep.
How is the pause in the bottom? Is that better or longer in the calf?
Oh, I want it a lot longer, but
I'm like, I'm nailing it. No, I'm relative, right?
And I'd like you to be like 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi. Hold. So when I say the pause, I want pause in the split.
Hold on, I'm gonna take you outside. Music's getting loud in here. Okay.
That was great that you were able to do that in the gym with like no one in there. It wasn't loud. That was awesome.
Yeah, I got lucky. So the classes end here at 10 and I'm technically working right now, but I have no meetings. So I'm using my lunch break for this.
Fuck yes.
So good timing.
The pause that I was referring to was the pause in the split. So when
I dip down?
No. So once you've completed the jerk and you haven't stood up yet, your front foot is forward, your back foot is back.
Okay.
I want you to hold that position for a second because that will give you the feedback for you to know that you went short and you can even play around with like bending your back leg to get a little bit deeper.
Okay.
We'll work on it though. Like I said, I'll send you guys the links to the footwork from Roderick.
Cool.
But overall, dude, you were moving fantastic. I mean,
thank you.
Yeah. So we'll just keep the cues that I want you to focus on for your lifts are making sure you're extra intentional with setting your back. You did a great job. I think what the things that I had cued you on, you did a great job with leading with your chest today. I really I see you being intentional with pulling your head back for your jerk to get your head out of the way. That's awesome. A lot of us, I do this when I get my head out of the way. So not healthy for sure. So I mean, little tweaks, dude. And I think your lifts will go up immensely. And then for the squats, so get someone to be with you and ask a coach to teach you how to bail properly so that we can get you confident with it so you can lift by yourself. Because you need to be able to do that. You got to go heavy.
For sure.
Yeah. Awesome. All right.
Cool.
So if you're going to do the clean pose, you can do the clean pose on your own, I think, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And then, like keep sending me videos and I'll keep getting you coaching feedback.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Yeah, I really appreciated that.
Same. This was great. All right.
Thank
Have an
you.
awesome rest of your day. I'll talk
You
to you
too.
later. Thanks.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.